Hello students, I am Dr. D.D. Kumbar, Department of Chemistry, Ferguson College, Pune. Today we are going to see the remaining part of unit number 12, aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids. From that we are going to see the physical states, boiling points and solubilities of carboxylic acids. Then reactivity of aldehydes and ketones. After that we are going to see the influence of electronic effects, that is the steric effects. Right now we will move for the PowerPoint presentations. Last time we were looking for the dimer of acetic acid, that is two molecules of this acetic acid held by two hydrogen bonds. Okay, so here in this figure you will observe that this is the CH3C double bond OH, two molecules of acetic acid are there. Okay, now here that carbonyl oxygen and hydrogen from OH group. Okay, so here it is mentioned over here by the dotted line. Okay, hydrogen carries the positive delta, that is partial positive charge, and carbonyl oxygen carries the partial negative charge. So there is a formation of bonding. It is shown by the dotted line, that is hydrogen bonding. Similarly, here also you will observe that OH, hydroxyl group from acetic acid, and here that carbonyl oxygen acetic acid. So there is a formation of hydrogen bonding which is shown by the dotted line. Okay, so formation of hydrogen bonding in two molecules of acetic acid. Lower aliphatic carboxylic acids containing up to 4 carbons are miscible with water due to formation of intermolecular hydrogen bonds between carboxylic acid molecules and solvent water molecules. Okay, the solubility of carboxylic acids in water decreases with increase in molecular mass. Higher carboxylic acids are practically insoluble in water due to the increased hydrophobic, that is water heating interaction of hydrocarbon part with water. Aromatic acids like benzoic acid are also practically insoluble in water at a room temperature. Water insoluble carboxylic acids are soluble in less polar organic solvents like ether, alcohol, benzene and so on. After that, next point, that is the polarity of carbonyl group. The polarity of carbonyl group originates from higher electronegativity of oxygen relative to carbon as well as resonance effects as shown in figure 12.4. Okay, now this is a carbonyl carbon and carbonyl oxygen. This is a carbonyl group. Okay, so in figure A you will observe that the carbonyl carbon carries the partial positive charge and carbonyl oxygen carries the partial negative charge. Okay, so in bracket you will observe that in figure B, that is the measure, the carbonyl carbon double bond oxygen. So oxygen carries the two lone pair of electrons. Okay, so it shows that resonance structures of this carbonyl group. Okay, so this carbonyl carbon carries the partial positive charge, that is, and here there is one bond and which is joined to the carbonyl oxygen carries the 3 lone pair of electrons. Okay, so carries the minus charge, partial minus charge. Okay, so this is a minor structure. So these two structures, structure B and structure C, both are the resonance structures of each other. Okay, then after that you will find that next structure, structure D, this is the resonance hybrid. Okay, so this carbonyl carbon and carbonyl oxygen, they are joined by the one single bond over here, and after that one bond, that is, it is shown by the dotted line. Okay, so this is a resonance hybrid. Okay, this is a resonance hybrid. So carbon carries the positive charge and oxygen carries the negative charge. This is the resonance hybrid. So this is almost this stable structure is there, and because of this carbon and oxygen, so polarity is developed. Okay, polarity is developed, and therefore here the polarity of carbonyl group originates from the higher electronegativity of oxygen relate to the carbon as well as resonance effects as shown in the this figure. Okay, the carbonyl carbon has positive polarity. Carbonyl carbon carries the positive charge. See the structure A. See the structure A. So in this, you will observe that carbonyl carbon carries the positive charge and carbonyl oxygen carries the negative charge. See the structure A and structure D. Okay, structure D. Therefore, it is electron deficient. So here, remember, the positive charge always shows that deficiency of electron, and minus charge, it indicates that electron rich center. Electron rich center. Okay. So as a result, this carbon atom is electrophilic, that is electron loving, and is susceptible to attack by a nucleophile. This is the nucleophile. Okay. Reactivity of aldehydes and ketones. Reactivity of aldehydes and ketones is due to the polarity of carbonyl group, which results in electrophilicity of carbon. In general, aldehydes are more reactive than ketones toward nucleophilic attack. These can be well explained in terms of both the electronic effects and steric effect. The first effect, that is influence of electronic effects. So alkyl groups have electron donating inductive effect, that is plus I effect. Okay. A ketone has two electron donating alkyl groups bonded to carbonyl carbon, which are responsible for decreasing its positive polarity and electrophilicity. In contrast, aldehydes have only one electron donating group bonded to carbonyl carbon. This makes aldehydes are more electrophilic than ketones. So simply remember that in aldehydes and ketones, the functional group for the aldehyde, that is RCHO, and for the ketones, RC double bond OR dash. Okay, so means in aldehydes there is only one alkyl group which is attached to the carbonyl carbon, and in ketones there are two alkyl groups which are attached to the carbonyl carbon, and therefore here aldehydes are more reactive than ketones. Steric effects. Two bulky alkyl groups in ketones come in the way of incoming nucleophile. This is called steric hindrance to nucleophilic attack. Steric hindrance means actually crowding. That is known as the steric hindrance. On the other hand, nucleophile can easily attack the carbonyl carbon in aldehyde because it has one alkyl group and is less crowded or sterically less hindered. Hence, aldehydes are more easily attacked by nucleophiles. So, we'll see in this figure. Okay, this is a ketone and this is an aldehyde. So, as I told that earlier, carbonyl carbon which is attached to the oxygen, and here two alkyl groups which are attached to the carbonyl carbon. Okay, carbonyl carbon. And in aldehydes, only one alkyl group is attached to the carbonyl carbon. Okay, so carbonyl carbon carries the positive charge and carbonyl oxygen carries the minus charge. Okay, so in ketones and aldehydes. Then next property, that is the chemical properties of aldehydes and ketones. Okay, the laboratory test for aldehydes and ketones. Aldehydes are easily oxidized to carboxylic acids and therefore acts as a reducing agents. Toward mild oxidizing agents, ketones do not have hydrogen atom directly attached to carbonyl carbon. Hence, they are not oxidized by mild oxidizing agents. On the basis of this difference in the reactivity, aldehydes and ketones are distinguished by the following test. Okay, the test given by only aldehydes, that is Chip's test or Chip's reagent. When alcoholic solution of aldehyde is treated with few drops of Chip's reagent, pink or red or magenta color appears. This confirms the presence of aldehydic, that is bond CHO group. Okay. Then next, second test, Tollens test or silver mirror test. When an aldehyde is boiled with Tollens reagent, ammoniacal silver nitrate, silver mirror is formed. The aldehyde is oxidized to carboxylate ion by Tollens reagent, and Ag plus, that is Ag plus ion is reduced to Ag. Okay. We'll see about the reaction RCHO. This is an aldehyde. Okay. Plus, when it is reacted with the twice AgNH3 twice plus thrice OH minus. Okay. So collectively this is known as a Tollens reagent. When it is heated, after heating it will give the R bond C double bond O minus. That is a carboxylate ion it is obtained plus twice Ag. Okay. Twice Ag, that is the precipitate is obtained, that is the silver mirror. Okay. Plus 4NH3, evolve the gas, that is ammonia gas, and plus twice H2, water molecule. Okay. If you see that example with the acetaldehyde, okay, CH3CHO, if you have taken the acetaldehyde, CH3CHO, when it is reacted with the Tollens reagent after heating in water bath, so you will observe that CH3COO minus, that is carboxylate, that is acetate ion is developed, okay, acetate, and plus you will get the twice Ag plus 4NH3 plus twice H2O. So this is the Tollens reagent, that is the silver mirror test. After that, next test, that is the Fehling test. When a mixture of an aldehyde and Fehling solution is boiled in hot water, a red precipitate of cuprous oxide is formed. An aldehyde is oxidized to carboxylate ion by Fehling solution, and copper 2 plus ion is reduced to copper plus ion. It may be noted that alpha hydroxy ketone also gives these tests positive. So this is the aldehyde RCHO plus twice Cu2 plus 5OH minus. Collectively it is known as a Fehling solution. After boiling, you will get the, that is carboxylate ion R bond C bond COO minus plus Cu2O, that is the precipitate you will get, that is the red PPT, and plus thrice H2O. We'll take one example. When the acetaldehyde CH3CHO, when it is treated with the Fehling solution, after boiling you will get CH3COO minus, that is acetate ion you will get it, okay, plus Cu2O, that is red PPT, and plus thrice H2O. So it means that Fehling test. Now this laboratory test for the ketonic group by the sodium nitroprusside test. So this year, only this year, this part of the syllabus is omitted. Just see the slide only. What are the reactions? Okay, next property we'll see, that is chemical reactions of aldehydes and ketones with nucleophile. In all these reactions, the nucleophilic reagent brings about reactions by attacking on positively polarized electrophilic carbonyl carbon in aldehydes and ketones. Okay. Then addition of hydrogen cyanide, that is HCN. Hydrogen cyanide, that is a weak acid, adds across the carbon-oxygen double bond in aldehydes and ketones to produce compounds called cyanohydrins. The negative part of the reagent, that is bond CN, attacks the electrophilic carbon of a carbonyl group. The reaction requires either acid or base as a catalyst. So directly we'll see the reaction. This is the ketone RC double bond O R dash. R and R dash both are the here are the different alkyl groups plus HCN, hydrogen cyanide. It gives R dash C R bond CN bond OH. It is known as a cyanohydrin. It is known as a cyanohydrin. So aldehyde, when if you are taking the aldehyde, when R dash is equal to H. When you are treating aldehyde, then R dash may be the hydrogen. And when you are treating ketone, that R dash may be the alkyl or aryl group. Alkyl or aryl group. Okay. For example, we'll see the example with the acetaldehyde, CH3CH double bond O plus HCN. So directly addition takes place over here. You will get that CH3 C bond R bond OH bond CN. Okay. That is acetaldehyde cyanohydrin. Acetaldehyde cyanohydrin. Another example with the acetone. that is ketone, CH3 C double bond O, C bond CH3, okay, plus HCN, addition will take place here, you will get CH3 bond C bond OH, bond CN and bond CH3, that is acetone cyanohydrine. So addition of HCN takes place in this way. Then addition of sodium bisulfite, NaHSO3. Aldehydes and ketones react with saturated aqueous solution of sodium bisulfite to give crystalline precipitate of sodium bisulfite adduct, that is addition compound. For example, we'll take the example of acetaldehyde, CH3CH C double bond O plus NaHSO3 sodium bisulfite. So addition will take place here and you will get CH3C bond OH, bond H and bond SO3Na. That is the acetaldehyde sodium bisulfite adduct. Okay. This is with the aldehyde. Another example we will see with the ketone. CH3C CH3 C double bond O, that is acetone. When it is treated with NaHSO3 sodium bisulfite, after the addition, it gives that CH3C bond OH bond SO3Na bond CH3, that is acetone sodium bisulfite adduct. So such a way addition takes place. Then addition of alcohols. Aldehyde reacts with one molecule of anhydrous monohydric alcohol in presence of dry hydrogen chloride to give alkoxy alcohol known as hemiacetal, which further reacts with one more molecule of anhydrous monohydric alcohol to give a geminal dialkoxy compound known as acetal, as shown in the reaction. Okay, so step 1. So this is the aldehyde RCH C double bond O plus R dash OH. Okay, this is an alcohol. Okay, aldehyde is an alcohol. So this is the reversible reaction. When it is treated with the dry HCl, then you will observe that you will get here hemiacetal, RC bond O, R dash bond OH and H. Okay, that is hemiacetal. That is unstable product. This is an unstable product. Another, that is the step number 2, that is RCH bond OH bond O R dash, okay, plus R dash OH, that is alcohol. So here this is the reversible reaction, dry HCl. After that you can treat with the dilute HCl. You will observe that RCH bond OR dash bond OR dash, okay. So in a step 1 there is a single alkoxy group, and in step 2 the product there are two alkoxy groups are there, okay. So when there is only one alkoxy group, that is known as a hemiacetal, and when there are two alkoxy groups, then it is known as a acetal, okay, acetal, and plus water molecule it is formed. So in this reaction, that acetal, when it is treated with the dilute HCl, then you will get the hemiacetal, okay. Similarly, when the hemiacetal, when it is treated with the dilute HCl, then you will get the aldehyde. So therefore these are the reversible reactions. These are the reversible reaction. For example, here we will see that step number 1, that is acetaldehyde, CH3CH C double bond O plus C2H5OH. This is the ethyl alcohol. This is the ethyl alcohol. When it is treated with the dry HCl, okay, dry HCl means free from water molecule, then you are getting CH3CO C2H5O bond OH and bond H. That is hemiacetal unstable product, okay. So there is only one alkoxy group, that is the ethoxy group, C2H5O, that is the ethoxy group is there. So it is known as a hemiacetal. Then when this hemiacetal, when it is treated with the dilute HCl, then you will get the original product, that is acetaldehyde and alcohol, okay. In a second step, this hemiacetal, when it is treated with the another molecule of ethyl alcohol, C2H5OH, when it is treated with the dry HCl, then you will get here CH3CH C bond O C2H5O bond O C2H5O plus H2O. So here you will get the 1,1 diethoxy ethane, that is the stable product. In this product, this is the acetal, okay. In this product there are two alkoxy groups, that is two ethoxy groups are there. Two ethoxy groups are, so therefore it is known as a acetal. And when this acetal, when it is treated with the dilute HCl, then you will get the hemiacetal. Okay. Similarly, here also hemiacetal, when it is treated with dilute HCl, then you will get the acetaldehyde. So therefore, these two reactions are the reversible reaction. Okay. Similarly, ketones react with alcohol in presence of acid catalyst to form hemiketal and ketal. Ketones react with 1,2 or 1,3 diols in presence of dry hydrogen chloride to give 5 or 6 membered cyclic ketals. So this is the ketone RC double bond O R, that is a ketone, plus if you are treated with the CH2H, that is ethylene glycol. So IUPAC name ethane 1,2 diol. When it is treated with the dry HCl means free from water molecule, then you will get here RC bond R. Here you will get C carbon, it is attached to the oxygen, bond CH2 bond oxygen and this carbon. Okay, that is cyclic ketal is obtained. What you are getting? Cyclic ketal is obtained. Ketal, why it is called as ketal? Because it is obtained from the ketone. Okay, cyclic ketal. So when it is treated with the dilute HCl, then you will get the reactants. Original products you will get it. Okay. Now the reaction can be reversed by treating the cyclic ketal with aqueous HCl to regenerate the ketone. Acetals and ketals are hydrolyzed with aqueous mineral acids to give corresponding aldehydes and ketones respectively. Then next reaction, addition of Grignard's reagent. Aldehydes and ketones on reaction with alkyl magnesium halide followed by acid hydrolysis give alcohols. Refer to chapter number 11, section 11.4.1d. Okay, the previous chapter you will see that. So this is the ketone when it is reacted with the Grignard's reagent RMJX. Okay, so you will observe that here that from the Grignard's reagent R carries the that is the alkyl group carries the negative charge. Okay, and that magnesium metal carries the positive charge and halogen carries the negative charge. Okay, and carbonyl carbon carries the positive charge over here. So that alkyl group R, it is attacked on the carbonyl carbon. Okay, after that when it is treated with the dry ether, then you will get the complex that is the bond C bond OMGX bond R. Okay, this is unstable product is formed. After the acid hydrolysis, you will get that bond C bond OH bond R plus MgX and MgOH. Okay. For this purpose, we will take one example over here. We will take the example with the acetone and CH3 C double bond O CH3, that is the acetone. Okay, plus you will take the methyl magnesium bromide CH3 MgBr. When it is treated with the dry ether, then you will get here CH3 OMgBr. Okay, on acid hydrolysis you will get here CH3 and OH plus Mg, Br and OH. The name of this alcohol, it is known as a tertiary butyl alcohol. You will get the tertiary butyl alcohol. Then nucleophilic addition, elimination of aldehydes and ketones with ammonia derivatives. Aldehydes and ketones undergo addition elimination with some ammonia derivatives, that is NH2 bond Z, to give product containing double bond carbon double bond N bond, that is the imines. The reaction is reversible and takes place in weakly acidic medium. The substituted imine is called a Gibbs base. So this is the reaction here, aldehyde or ketone, see carbon double bond oxygen plus NH2Z, which is reversible in bracket, that is square bracket, that is unstable product, that is carbon bond OH bond NZ bond H. Okay, when water molecule is eliminated and it gives the carbon double bond nitrogen bond Z plus H2O. So carbon double bond nitrogen bond Z, it is known as a imine. It is known as a imine, where Z is equal to that is alkyl group R, aromatic group NH2, NHC6H5, NHCONH2, NHC6H3NO2 twice. For example, we'll take here example, that is the acetaldehyde, CH3 C double bond O CH plus NH2OH, hydroxylamine. A reversible reaction takes place and you will get that CH3 bond C bond H bond N bond OH. So nitrogen is attached to the hydrogen, and here this carbon is attached to the OH. Okay. So in your textbook there is a printing mistake for this structure, that carbon it should be attached to the one hydrogen, but hydrogen it is not given in your textbook. Please everybody, please make a correction in your textbook for this example and this reaction only. Okay. So after elimination of water molecule, you will get here CH3CH C double bond N bond OH, that is the acetaldoxime. You are getting acetaldoxime. All aldehydes and ketones give similar reactions. Some important reactions are listed in table number 12.7. The resulting products have high molecular mass and are crystalline solids. These reactions are therefore useful for characterization of the original aldehydes and ketones. So this is the table number 12.7, nucleophilic addition, elimination reactions of aldehydes and ketones with ammonia derivatives. Today we have seen the unit number 12, that is aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acid. From this unit we have studied the solubilities and boiling points of aldehydes and ketones and some influence of electronic effects on aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acid. Thank you very much.